Lisa Lord with the CBC News Break. Well, St. Lucians are casting their ballots today as that country holds general elections. They are choosing between the ruling St. Lucian Labour Party led by Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony and the United Workers' Party with Alan Chastanet at the helm. Both the SLP and the UWP have said that they are confident of victory. Well, heavy rains accompanied by lightning and thunder greeted St. Lucians earlier today as they began voting. The Electoral Department said that an estimated 160,000 people are eligible to cast their ballots at the 430 polling stations scattered across that island. The polling stations opened at 6:30 this morning and will close at 6 this evening. Yesterday, both the SLP and the UWP staged motorcades across the island in a last-minute bid to woo undecided voters. In the 2011 general election, the SLP won 11 seats to the UWP's 6. While Barbadians are paying more at the pump for gasoline, diesel and kerosene, the prices went up at midnight, with gasoline moving from $2.79 per litre to $2.85, an increase of 6 cents per litre. The price of diesel has risen from $1.88 per litre to $1.99. That's an increase of 11 cents. Kerosene is now retailing at 92 cents per litre, an increase of 8 cents. Well, consumers are, however, getting a bit of an ease on liquefied petroleum gas. LPG now retails at $140.31 per 100-pound cylinder, $12.68 less than before. The price of the 25-pound cylinder has dropped from $43.35 to $40.18, a decrease of $3.17, while the 22-pound cylinder now costs $35.52, down from $38.31, which is $2.79 less. The new price of a 20-pound cylinder is $32.29, which is $2.54 cheaper. Now, according to the government, these price adjustments are due solely to changes in the cost, insurance and freight of these refined products. Director of the Anmar Empowerment Network, Ambrose Carter, wants parents to be mindful of their children's activities on social media and cell phones. He says this is critical since some young children are engaging in sexual acts.
We find that our children in primary schools, they're exposed and they're having anal sex. They are practicing sex with animals, because this comes under choice, and this comes out also of the whole concept of comprehensive sex education. The number of things that you as parents need to know.
Mr. Carter issued his warning at a panel discussion on same-sex relations entitled A Right or an Abomination. There he also warned people to avoid engaging in sodomy.
Same-gender sex, yes, we know that is sodomy, but also heterosexual contact could also be sodomy. In the area of chonking, we know husband and wives now want to practice chonking, anal intercourse. Husband and wife now, heterosexual contact, want heterosexual relationships, they practice oral sex. This comes under sodomy. When you check out the word sodomy, you will see 3 basic things there. You will see oral sex between man and man, oral sex between man and woman. You'll see same-sex relationships, and you'll also see sex with animals, and we're recognizing all of these.
Well, founder of the Barbados Gays and Lesbians and All Sexuals Against Discrimination, or BGLAD, Donya Pigot, says child sexual abuse is a serious issue and more needs to be done to combat it locally.
It has nothing to do with homosexual relationships. It has to do with perversion and the fact that big adults are having sexual intercourse with children.
I'm not finished.
Just 2 seconds. I'm not finished.
I want to tackle you and just something that you said.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
Isn't it linked to choice though? And you're speaking about choice.
No, it has nothing to do with choice. It has everything to do with consent. A child cannot give consent. So if a child cannot give consent, regardless of how old somebody is or how young they may seem to be, a child can't give consent, and it is rape across the border. So it has nothing to do with homosexuality. It has everything to do with big adults interfering with little children, and it's a problem in Barbados, and we need to address it.
Travel agency owner Governor and Barbados Labour Party Public Relations Officer Indar Weir has secured the nomination as his party's candidate for St. Philip South. At a branch meeting at the Hilda-Skeen Primary School last evening, Mr. Weir got 48 votes to defeat challengers Mona Aline, who got 17 votes, Sylvan Greenwich 7 votes, and Ahmed Proverbs 8 votes. In his acceptance speech, Mr. Weir challenged the government's claim that tourist arrival numbers for crop over this year are expected to be up. He says bookings for that period so far have not surpassed last year's figures.
We have not seen any increase in airlift from across the Caribbean region. So when you're being told that we are getting this bumper crowd for crop over, it is the same crowd that you're getting every time, and people are telling the same story to deceive you into believing that they're doing more.
And opposition leader Mia Motley congratulated Mr. Weir on winning the nomination. Addressing the branch meeting, she also stressed that while the party needs donations to function, it will not be bought by anyone seeking political favors.
But this party under my leadership will not be beholden to anybody who is seeking to buy influence in government. I have said, like Shirley Chisholm, that I will be on board and a boss. I have had to carry this scars well, from in and out, for standing for positions that I feel strongly, because we cannot bring democracy to a country and do not bring democracy to a party.
Well, stay with us. We'll have regional and international stories right after this break.